like calling doesn't always make sense, right? If we sat down on paper and wrote, here's what I'm good at, here's what so I should do this, it doesn't always translate that way. You know, Peter was a fisherman. He was good at fishing. I don't think on any personality test that would have said apostle and leader of the church would have been his calling, right? The way God calls doesn't always like match up with skills and aptitudes. It's something different. It's about character and humility and all those types of things that God considers. So we shouldn't just necessarily write off things that might be that might not match up with what we do professionally or our skills. I remember a friend of mine who's a priest in Florida, a friend of ours, Sarah and mine. His name's Brian. He's a priest in Florida. He's a great priest, just a phenomenal priest. And he had a parishioner. He was telling me a story when we talked one time, a parishioner that was a lifetime military person that retired and, you know, had some energy. So he was thinking, oh, he wants to be in leadership. Because he spent his career in the military giving orders and doing those types of things. He's going to want to be in leadership. So I should put him in charge of this building project or this and that. And the guy hated it. He said, I don't like doing any of this stuff. So they sat down and talked, and my friend who's the priest got interrupted. Somebody was at the hospital, and it was kind of an urgent situation. So he says, I'm going to have to end this meeting. I got to go to the hospital. And the guy said, can I go with you? So they went. And my friend Brian, who's a priest, was like, this guy was better than I was in the hospital. He was calm. He knew how to handle situations. He knew how to communicate. You know, when people were stressed out, he knew how to talk to people that were maybe kind of running an emotionally high. And he said, can I do more hospital visits after they left that? I said, you like that? He said, yeah, I love that. He said, he's the head of my pastoral ministry. He loves going to the hospital. He beats me there when somebody's in crisis. He says, I found my calling. Right? He wouldn't have necessarily looked and said, I'm going to be the hospital guy, right? 30 years in the Navy makes me the hospital guy. But he had a calling. And he just kind of found out by accident what it was. Because he was just happened to be in a meeting trying to talk about it with my friend who had to go to the hospital.